Chapter number 5th, Introduction to M-Commerce. Students, in earlier we talk about the e-commerce. E-commerce means electronic commerce. All that can activity can be done with the help of mobile or other devices like personal digital assistant, smartphone, tablets, palm top. All these activities are included through e-commerce, that is known as M-commerce. M-commerce provides the user of advantage of flexibility and usability. By using the mobile phones, consumer can conduct the business transaction without being fixed at a computer terminal or being physically present at a shop. Some of the examples of M-commerce are purchasing airline ticket, purchasing movie ticket, restaurant booking and reservation, hotel booking, reservation and stock market analysis. Now, students, we learn all the applications of e-commerce in chapter number 4 that they include in M-commerce, like C, mobile marketing and advertisement, mobile ticketing, etc. Now, student, let's start with chapter number 6, object oriented concept. Object oriented concept, that is, this is the new topic for you. Object oriented concept or programming started originating in the 1960. Since mid 90, it had become the main programming paradigm used in the creation of new software. It was developed as a way of handle and repeatedly increasing the size and complexity of the software system and make it easier to modify this large complex system over a time. Some of the popular programming languages that support object-oriented programming are C++, Java, C#, VB.NET, ASP.NET and PHP. I again repeat it. Some popular programming languages that support the object-oriented programs are C++, Java, C#, VB.NET, ASP.NET and PHP. Now, students, here in this chapter, the two main concepts are object and class. I again repeat it. The two main objects are class and object in object-oriented concept. Now start with object. In the real world, objects are entities of the world is comprised. Some object can be concrete things like person, car, coffee, cup. Other object may be abstract, that is, do not represent things that can be touched or seen. For example, concept like date and time. All objects have unique identity and distinguishable from each other. For example, every person has the characteristics like name, gender, birth date, profession, etc. In object terminology, such characters or characteristics are known as properties or attribute. To uniquely distinguish one person from other person, we use these characteristics. For example, over here they give the example of the names Ram and Sham. Specify two different persons. When two different have the same name, they may be distinguished using the other attributes like birth date, etc. In this way, the identity of the object we use for the value of the attribute. These values are called state. Additionally, there is a behavior associated with object. For example, persons takes birth, get name, changes location. This behavior is also known as method. Now, student, this is the object. Now, let's start with class. The definition of class is a class is a template for multiple objects with similar feature. It describes a group of objects with similar attributes and common behavior. Now I can explain what is a class and what is an object, that is in detail with example. See, I can take a class, a person is a class. In that class, student, doctor, lawyer are the object. Now, same way, animal is a class. See, dog, cat, rat are the objects of this class animal. Now, students, let's start with introduction to class diagram. A class diagram represents a collection of classes, constraints, and relationship among the classes. Unified modeling language, that is UML, can be used to create models of object-oriented software with the design of an application. UML is visualizing modeling language defined and maintained by the Object Management Group, OMG. UML specifies the several diagrams for representing the different aspects of the software application. Now, see, this is the figure 6.2 class representation in UML convention. The first name is class name, second one is that is attribute, and third one is behavior. We can explain this through this rectangle. Class diagram is explained through rectangle. The first one is class name, second one is visibility attribute, and third one is visibility operations. Now student, the next one is encapsulation. For computer program, two core elements are data and function. Structural or procedural program views these two core elements are as two separate entities, whereas object-oriented viewing them to a single entity. The mechanism providing the protection of data and methods of a program is called encapsulation. Clear? This is the encapsulation. Now, data abstraction. The main meaning of data abstraction is hiding the detail from the user. Let's take one real example of television set. We can turn the television set on or off, change the channel, adjust the volume, but do not know its internal detail, like how it receives the signals over there through a cable and how it translates them into finally to display them on the screen. So this is the data abstraction. Now the third one is messaging. In object-oriented terminology, a call to a method is referred to a message. Due to encapsulation, all methods are handled by the object that recognize the method. Different classes may have same methods with the same name. For example, class date has method name display that display the date object in specific format. Now, the next topic is polymorphism. Polymorphism means many form. There may be different form of single method or operations. Assume that we have written the function name max that find the maximum of two numbers. It takes two integers as parameters and return the maximum as integer value. Now suppose we want to add one more function name max that is same as first one, that find the maximum number of integer elements stored is an array. I can explain the array concept in the later chapter. It takes array and its size parameter and return maximum integer. So here we can take two maximum method The first one is for finding out the maximum from two numbers. And in second method maximum, there are more than two numbers. Out of that two numbers, we have to find out the maximum number. So two methods are there. The name of that two methods are same, that is max, and second method is also max. This is known as polymorphism. Now the next topic is aggregation and composition. When objects of one class are composed of objects of other class, it is called aggregation or composition. It represents has a or part of relationship between classes. For example, motherboard is a part of computer. As we know, the computer is composed of many parts like motherboard, screen, keyboard and mouse. A screen itself may be a class with attributes like length, width and model. Similarly, motherboard may be defined as a class with attributes like model and company. When we define a class computer, it contains the attributes that are object of a class, motherboard and screen. This implies the containment. Now, aggregation versus composition. Aggregation represents non-exclusive relationship between two classes. On the other hand, composition represents exclusive relationship between two classes. In aggregation, the class that forms a part of owner class can exist independently. On the composition is a strong type of aggregation where the lifetime of a part class depends on the existence of its owner class. The composition and aggregation can be defined by these two diamond symbol. Composition is defined with filled diamond symbol and aggregation is defined by empty diamond symbol. Now the next topic is inheritance. Inheritance generally refers to as is kind of relationship between two classes. Now students, I can explain inheritance in detail with the following example. So students, here there are three classes. Class A. From this class A, the two another classes are there. The name of that two classes are B and C. Okay. Class A has its own characteristics. So class A is known as superclass, base class, main class and or parent class. B and C. Class B and C has its own characteristics and also the characteristics of class A. This concept is known as inheritance. This class B and C is known as derived class, subclass or child class. Students, I again repeat it. The first class is known as class A. From that class, we define two classes B and C. Class A has its own characteristics. So class A is known as superclass, base class, main class or parent class. From this class A, we derive two classes. The name of that two classes are B and C. Class B and C has its own characteristics and also use the characteristics of A. This concept is known as inheritance. Now students, composition versus inheritance. The inheritance class inherits from the other class in order to share, reuse or extend the functionality. Here there exists a kind of relationship between superclass and subclass. In composition, class do not inherit from other classes but are composed of other classes. Class contain the attribute where some attributes are of the object of the other class type. So here our 6th chapter be over.